My answer always is like, I can tell you what to go do, or I'll shut up, not tell you anything to not make you get mad, and you'll fail and then be mad at yourself for failing. And then you'll be mad at me because you're going to say you could have helped me. No, I didn't want to help you because I want you to fail and learn from yourself, because when you fail and have to learn yourself, you stick with it more. It sticks with you more than if I told you what to do. For example, when we teach people about trading and we tell them this is an A1 breakout, this is an A1, wait for the RSI to be above the trend line. Then they take a trade. The RSI isn't in proper position. I've told them 30 times the RSI needs to be in proper position, but they didn't take the loss yet to learn the lesson themselves. So there is, as I'm getting older, I'm learning there's this whole thing when you talk about morals and ethics and trying to be a good mentor and trying to be a good friend and be a good coach. Sometimes the best thing to do is shut up and let people make the mistake for themselves. The other day, Logan was over my house and I have these lights hanging in my kitchen. Riley likes these string lights we hung for the Halloween party, and she hasn't let me take them down. And Logan takes his shirt off because his shirt was wet, and he hits the lights and the lights come down. The lights fall down. He says, I'm going to fix it. I'm not going to fix it. He fucking knocked the lights down. He's going to fix it. Right. Then when he's hanging the light up, I'm standing there telling him how to do it. And he catches this thing on the table. So when he lifts the wire up, it picks the thing up off the table and the thing falls. And he goes, why didn't you just move the wire? And I said, because you need to learn to pay attention. In my head, I'm calculating very quickly. If Logan makes this mistake, can it hurt me? Does it break something? Does it hurt anybody? No. Okay. Let him make the mistake on his own. He'll learn to pay more attention and he won't do it again. In his mind, he wants to be babied. So his response initially is, why didn't you just move it? Well, bro, because I'm not always going to fucking be here. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I've learned to teach people. Right. And so in that situation, what was the lesson? Me yelling at him and telling him what to do, or just letting him fail? And hopefully he remembers this as a lesson point to pay more attention in the future. You let people just make that mistake, and I think it ends up being better. You got any situations like that in your life?
I think I can. So I'm looking at also from a positive point of view. So I definitely agree, and I think you can also, I'm looking at also from a positive point of view. So I always used to believe that when I first got into trading, I'm like, shit, like only the big banks guys make money trading and so forth, the fund managers. Right. And then I remember I always used to ask you, Austin, do you think there's guys that make like millions of dollars trading as retail traders? And you always used to be like, yeah, of course, bro, of course. And then when I started to make $100 a day, and then that $100 became $500, and then $500 became, I made a couple of $1,000 trades a day, and then that just got bigger and bigger. Eventually, I'm like, when I started to do that, it's like almost a sense of like shit, this is definitely possible. So it's like you got to experience failure, but you also got to experience winning for yourself.
Very true. Very true.
Because lots of people are like, oh, well, this comes back to like the belief system is like, well, you can't do it because I wasn't able to do it. Right. I get but that's not true. If once you experience it for yourself, and which you've done and I've done for yourself, that the flipping world's your oyster. Like you can do it for many years to come, and you can make at $1,000 a day can become $200,000 a day. You know that for a fact because you've done it. If you can do it with $1,000, you can do it with $100,000 a day. It's scalable, right?
And I think people forget that.
Yeah, and I think that's like I've always you got to let people fail to experience it for themselves. But when you start to win and experience it for yourself, you don't ask questions. I don't ask. No. I don't ask. Amanda's brother always asks me, James, do you think there's really guys that make money and be able to drive Lamborghinis? And I'm like, don't ask stupid questions. It's
literally, it's like the people that ask that question, bro, they don't even have the money or the brain. Like there's just a different perspective on life that you get when you start making more money. That's basically what you're saying, right?
Yeah. And it's like
once you start making good. Yeah, finish. Sorry.
Yeah, it's also like a sense of gratitude as well. Like you feel grateful, and you, as you say, you feel obligated to help people. That because I'm very like a caring person as well, generally in everyday life.
I know,
and I love. That's why when you asked me to be a coach, I was like, shit, this is dope. And then when we started our Black Shirt Club, which we'll get onto later in the podcast, I was like, this is flipping cool because now I trade, I make my money trading, but I also can be able to help people and fulfill other areas of my life that were missing when I was. Because at the end of the day, everybody, it sounds cliche, but it's not always just to make money and
no, bro.
Continue.
That is not the purpose of a human being. Yes,
It's
bro.
not. I mean, like for me, it's not just. It sounds cliche, but
No, it's not. It's true.
It sounds cliche to the people that haven't experienced it. That's what I always think, because when you experience it, you're like, oh shit, this makes sense now. You know,
well, let's talk about it, because it's like, it's the survival mindset. If you're not making, it's really money, bro. If you're not making enough money, you're not going to be able to get to the point of being able to give. You're only going to be able to look out for yourself. You're only going to be able to look out for your family. The second you start making enough money to have free income, what do you start doing, bro? You realize the purpose of being a human is to serve other people, to make the world a better place, to make other people around you happier, to help people, to be there for them. Because what would you want if you were in their position? You'd want someone to be there for you.
Want to help you. Correct.
So like for me recently, I've been hosting a lot of parties. I'm hosting a big party on New Year's Eve. I had everybody at my house for Christmas. I invite all my friends. Riley gets mad at me because I invite everybody and I don't care, because I have the ability to now take care of everybody. So if you're alone or you're not going to have a big Christmas dinner, come over my house. Like, that's kind of like my life perspective, because once I've got enough, and now I've got my trading, I've got my real estate going now, I'm going in this right direction on building wealth. I know you can say the world is your oyster and you want more, and I do, but the more that I also share, the more I seem to attract. The more I share with other people and make other people's life around me better, the more money I seem to make. You know what I'm saying? To the point where I wanted to just go back for a second. For the people that say, like, you coach because you can't trade, you sell courses because you can't trade, just to address this in episode 1, those who can't
do teach.
Right. I think those people, and I feel like a lot of our listeners probably have heard us say this, but that's the insecurity, the more, and that I would group into like the negative morals of trading, the negative belief system of trading, the insecurity to say, hey, you can't be a good trader and be a good coach. That's your own projection of what you think you can do or cannot do. I have proven that I can be a great trader, I can be a great coach, and I can sell courses, and I can invest in real estate, and I can be a great fiance and husband, and I can be a great brother sometimes. I can be a great, I'm doing all these things. Just because you don't think you can doesn't mean that I can't, or doesn't mean that you can't. So for everybody that's going to maybe think that or say that, just know it's really your own insecurity. And with our conversation, with our podcast, hopefully we can make you reflect on